Konnichiwa. Bonjour. Yes, we are once again gathered here in this amazing space to do amazing work, the year 2024. But for our beginning purposes, let us go back to 1978. And I want you to tell me what these names have in common, other than they're Black. Diana Ross, Nipsey Russell, Michael Jackson, Richard Pryor, Mabel King, Ted Ross, Lena Horne. What do they have in common? Any ideas? Well, there's a Broadway musical turned into a film called The Wiz. Now, why am I even mentioning this today? Because in the film, there is a specific song that is deeply aligned with our theme for this week. Can you feel a brand new day? Brand new day. Now, I'm going to leave the singing to the professionals, but in the song, it says, everybody look around, because there's a reason to rejoice, you see. Everybody, come out, and let's commence to singing joyfully. Everybody, look up, and feel the hope that we've been waiting on. Everybody's glad, because our silent fear and dread is gone. Pause. Breathe. Collect your thoughts for a moment. Because how great would it be if this were in fact a song that we could sing as our anthem? The anthem of new thought, ushering in a world that works for all. Everybody look around, because there's a reason to rejoice, you see. Everybody come out and let's commence to singing joyfully. Why? Because we live in and we are experiencing a world that works for all. And yet, at this present moment, we are not. So what is our invitation? To do, to shift, to change, to evolve, to transform. How do we truly make today a brand new day? Well, let's pause for a moment and think about how many people we know, might be ourselves, don't tell anyone, might be us, who Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, repeat. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, repeat. How many of us are simply living out the same? How many of us are living the same day? Yeah, there are a couple of different things going on in the day, but are we truly rising into a brand new day? We don't wear the same clothing we wore when we were 2 years old. We have outgrown that. We don't wear the same shoes. We don't use the same toothbrush we used when we... Did I have teeth when I was 2? We don't use the same toothbrush when we were children. We don't look the same as we did when we were 6 months old. We changed. It's a new day, a new body, a new thought, a new thought. Are we actually rising each day with a new thought? Meaning, are we truly being open at the top, the way Dr. Holmes invited? And as I always say, open at the bottom, light and darkness both, yin, yang, in balance, in connection, in alignment, oneness. Are we rising each day with a new thought? Are we rising each day, a brand new day, upgrading the system, assessing the paradigms that no longer operate or work the way we desire them to, and then bringing that to the systems and structures of our family interactions, the interactions we have wherever it is that we work, wherever it is that we buy coffee and cantaloupe, the systems and how they operate? Or is the brand new day simply a repeat of gotta make the donuts? Simply a repeat, a regurgitated version of an old thought, the old judgments, the old paradigms. Because we get to choose. We get to determine how we want to live this thing called life. Now, within the scope of that, are there systems in place? Let's think transatlantic slave trade. There are many people forced into slave labor, kidnapped from their land, brought to the Americas, and forced into slavery. And then there's this woman, Harriet Tubman. She's my example for this moment. She says, not on my watch, not enough. No, I would rather die than be a slave. Boom. And she does what she chooses to do, self-agency. And then once she is free, her own freedom was not enough. She said, I cannot, remember what I said last week about Mamie Till Mobley? I cannot simply enjoy my own freedom while I know that others are not free. None of us are free till all of us are free. So what does Harriet Tubman do? She ventures back into the very belly of the beast to rescue as many people, to usher in as many people into their emancipation, their liberation, their freedom through the Underground Railroad. Even within the structures of, it wasn't that long ago that the gay liberation movement became a thing. Within the confines of a structure that said, you do know that being gay is a mental illness. We're going to give you a lobotomy. Mental, what? Even within the structures of that paradigm, people said no. That is why I say we have choice. Even when we may not see such choice, even when we may not perceive choice, there is. We can say no. Remember that picture from way back when, Tiananmen Square, when that one sole individual stands in front of the tank? Choice. Now the question is, what are we choosing? On this brand new day, what are we choosing? How are we choosing to demonstrate and live into the upgrade, the evolution? Remembering that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, the church must be reminded that it is not the master, nor is it the servant of the state, but rather the church is the conscience of the state. Now, just simply in that, he's saying there is a role and a responsibility that religion, spirituality, has within the construct of politics. Now, what is that role? Conscience. Also, remember that he invited us and said, unless the church regain, reignite, revitalize its prophetic vision, it will be relegated to nothing more than a social club. A fun little get-together just to, play dominoes and checkers and have fun and fellowship, but where's the conscience? So now the question becomes, as we are rising into a brand new day, are we doing so with the energy of a Harriet Tubman to usher in emancipation and liberation for those who are bound by a system of corruption and economic slavery? Those who are currently living in food deserts. Are we developing our spiritual prowess our own metaphysical liberation theology to such a degree that we are able to bring the technology of a new day, the technology of peace, the technology of unity and oneness, the technology of courageous conversations, the technology of whatever it is. Are we able to bring that into not only our individual lives, but the collective as well? Do we have such conversations with those closest to us, family and friends? Do we relegate spirituality is meant for this date on this time of the day for this reason, and that's it? When any of us rise at whatever time we wake up in the morning, or for some folks, we wake up in the afternoon, whatever time that is that we wake up, does all of us wake up? Or do I, it's time to get up, wait. I don't think my heart woke up yet. My lungs didn't wake up yet either. Wake up. Yoo-hoo. The entire organism wakes up. The entire organism. And the funny thing is, the biology of this, it doesn't stop. When we go to sleep, does the heart not continue to beat? Do the lungs not continue to expand and contract? The blood still does what the blood does within the body, and the circulatory system and the nervous system and the respiratory system and all of these systems continue, even though the conscious mind has gone to the place of the unconscious, subconscious, metaconscious. So what is our invitation? How do we choose to engage the systems, the structures? How do we choose to upgrade? Think about how many of us have, un momento, por favor. How many of us have one of these things, a little smartphone? And, every now and then, well, I don't know, some folks have the iPhones. I don't know how iPhones work, so forgive me. But on this thing, the Android, so every now and then I get a announce, boop, we're putting these apps to sleep unless you choose something because you ain't using these apps. And then I look, I don't use that app at all, so uninstall. How many apps do we have in our regular everyday lives we're not using? Why is the app still there? Why is it taking up space in the consciousness of why? We have relationships. We know that it is not a healthy relationship. We know that it is toxic, and we have the means to leave. Exit stage left. But we don't. We keep the app asleep just in case. We keep it right there at the periphery because you never know. I might need it. You mean like that pair of glasses that you don't ever, when was the last time you wore these glasses? I know it. I haven't worn them since 1972. If you haven't worn them since 1972, why do you still have them? Because you never know when I might need them. What if I lose this pair? I still have these just in case. We're holding on to the just in case, the what if maybe. Well, why not hold on to the just in case maybe, which some of us do? The just in case maybe God is anthropomorphic. The just in case maybe there is an actual heaven. The just in case maybe, and we say, well, we don't, but we do. Many of us in New Thought do still hold on to that paradigm. We change the packaging. We talk about the cosmic 2x4. That's still a judgmental universe cracking us over the head because we haven't learned a lesson. That's no different than an anthropomorphic God rerouting us because God has a plan for our lives. It's anthropomorphism. That's an old thought, not a new thought. So let's expand into a new understanding of what it means to be the very embodiment of the divine. That our lives, physically, emotionally, intellectually, all of it is God expressing in, through, and as us. What would our day look like when we wake up in the morning and realize this waking up is God waking up? This going to make breakfast is God making breakfast. And actually, that's not even breakfast, that's God. What changes in our day when we, because anger and frustration are going to rise, it's part of the human experience, but we no longer vilify it, making it, I'm supposed to be holy now and I should not be. Recognize the frustration, the anger, the sadness, whatever it is, it's pointing away to something that is wanting our attention. I am frustrated, because how many of us communicate this? I am frustrated by standing in this long line. Why are you frustrated? What is the frustration actually? Because I'd rather be somewhere else. I'd rather be doing something else. Whatever it is. Well, the moment you follow the breadcrumbs all the way to, and you get to the core cause of the emotional frustration, or even simply exploring it, it begins to expand the container where we say, whoa, so wait a minute. Feeling frustration in and of itself is not the enemy. It's not bad. Feeling angry in and of itself is not the enemy. It's not bad. Feeling whatever it is we are feeling in and of itself. Keep in mind, in the Buddhist tradition, the middle way is the path of balance. Because did you know you could drink? We are told to drink X amount of glasses, X amount of ounces, etc., of water per day, right? Did you know that you can drink water to excess and get water poisoning? Say, what now? Too much of a good thing can become a not healthy thing. So too much happiness to the point that it becomes syrupy, that it becomes a facade. What good is that doing? But what happens when we are able to be in the space of both and? I feel happy while feeling grief. I feel joy, even though in this moment I am also frustrated. Both and. Can we rise into a new day, recognizing that every breath is an opportunity right here, right now? New. Right here, right now. Evolution taking place. Right here, right now. Healing. Rather than putting an ED on it. Healed, transformed, evolved, enlightened. Let's ing. I am ever evolving. I am ever transforming. I am ever breathing. What happens when we engage from a space of this thing called God is always God-ing itself in, through, and as us? Every moment, every breath, every thought. Breathe. So we simply anchor into this moment, realizing that right here, whenever you are watching this, is the invitation to begin anew. So can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day. Are you ready to look around? Because there's a reason to rejoice. Even in the midst of systemic oppression, there is reason to rejoice because you are the very embodiment of the divine, and your voice can change that. Your power can change that. You have the ability to channel, to embody, to become the avatar of a new age today in the same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was for his era, and Malcolm X, and Audre Lorde, and Maya Angelou, and Bayard Rustin, and Harvey Milk, and on and on and on. Because our voices, our bodies, our thoughts, our energy brings this new day that we celebrate, that we honor, that we rejoice to those who do not see a reason to rejoice. So we change the systems and the structures. We change the oppression and the trauma. We change the paradigm that says suffering is necessary. I even hear that within New Thought, that, God only gives us what we can handle. God never gives us more than it's anthropomorphism. So we get to rise up, come out, come together, gather in community, gather in relationship, and bring the energy of transformation as the conscience to the rest of the world. Working together, hand in hand, arm in arm, heart to heart. Breathe. Namaste, blessings, much love and appreciation, and I will see you in a week. Actually, I'll see you on the next brand new day.